That's a really difficult one, and there will be people who don't want to come back to work for a whole variety of different reasons. Obviously, some of them are going to not want to come back because they look at the news and they look at the infection rate and the death rate and go, it's just not low enough for me yet. I don't feel safe leaving my house at the moment, let alone going to work. There will be others who maybe weren't happy at work before the pandemic and before we went into lockdown, and being at home and being away from work has given them an opportunity to realise as a result they may be very reluctant to come back to work because they're coming back to something that they don't like and they don't want to be a part of anymore. And I think for those people,
their mental health.
So I think you'll probably find that the people who really don't want to come back to work are going to be the exception rather than the rule. The majority of people are going to be concerned, they're going to be anxious, they're going to have fears, and they're going to have questions, and you deal with that group. The ones who just flat out refuse to come back or don't want to come back will be a much smaller group. And then I think you do actually have to start to get into individual conversations with people. And really understand what's behind that not wanting to come back. Is it because they're very afraid of their own physical health and they're very anxious about the idea of leaving the house and coming back into an environment where there are lots of other people? Is it because they don't like their job and actually they've had 8 weeks of not doing a job they hate and realise that they don't want to go back to doing a job they hate? And each of those are going to require a different and more individual response, I think. I think if you can do the reassurance as much as possible with people, you'll get the bulk of people will still maybe feel anxious, but will feel on board and engaged with it. Then it's about addressing those individuals who still have massive concerns. And I think you have to take those more on a case by case basis.
Yeah, and I think we need to respect people, that, like you said at the beginning, that everybody's journey through this has been different, and their responses therefore will be different. And if they're not ready, that individual communicating to perhaps timeframes for when they might be ready, at their pace.
Absolutely, having a plan. Absolutely. For some people, it will be just about, I'm not ready yet. Great. So let's talk about having a plan to get you back into work. For others, it might be, I'm never going to be ready, and then that's a completely different conversation for HR to have.